Paul Kennedy is in the streets of Melbourne. PK, good morning.
Good morning, Kumi. Good morning, Michael. We'll go straight to Michael Carianis and talk about this football game. It's at the MCG, of course, so the stage is slightly different, but the scenario is the same for the New South Wales team having to make up ground. Michael, thanks very much for your time. Welcome to Melbourne. What's it like to be in a town that's not used to rugby league?
Yeah, it's been a bit different. The buzz is not quite the same as it is in a Sydney or Brisbane decider, but it's been pretty exciting. Took a look around the MCG yesterday for the Blues players. It was the first time a lot of them have actually been at the ground, so it adds a bit of excitement for the game. They
seemed a bit wide-eyed yesterday, didn't they, in awe of the stadium, and particularly those Melbourne Storm guys, Cameron Smith and co. They've had spent their whole career just over the railway line, looking up at the MCG. Now they get to play there. Did you get the sense that they were pretty keen?
Yeah, having been in Blues camp all week, all the Blues players in particular have been speaking about the opportunity and how rare it is to play a rugby league game on the MCG. And for those Melbourne guys, they would have been in attendance to a lot of big events, but now they get to be part of one.
Let's talk about the niggle before we talk about the game, and I think we could take a look at some front pages in the newspapers this morning as well. Some niggle there from the Daily Telegraph, wheeling out the three amigos in the Mexican line. The Courier Mail and everyone in Queensland would have been slightly stung by Paul Gallen's words, maybe, or not so much.
Not so much. It was a pretty I would say explosive, but it was
predictable.
It was a lighthearted, constant jab at the Queenslanders. Paul Gallen said that some of his inexperienced Blues players got overawed by the so-called angels of the game, he said, and their tactics, and they said it won't happen again. And he said it's a bit disrespectful that Billy Slater will potentially have shoulder surgery on Thursday, ending his season, and the Blues are taking that as if the Queensland think they're going to win the game, and there will be no decider in Game 3.
Yeah, so the sledge there is that Billy Slater can just turn up, and they can still win the game, and he can go off and have his own personal surgery there.
That's right. A battered Billy Slater is good enough to beat the New South Wales side. That's the Blues mentality at the moment.
Paul Gallen comes into the team a little bit underdone physically, you would think. Not a long preparation. Maybe he's trying to psych out the opposition and have them forget about the fact that he hasn't played a lot of football.
Yeah, I think we'll see a different role from Paul Gallen in Origin. We're so used to him playing that 70, 80 minutes at times. I don't think he'll play anywhere near that because he's getting on and he's been so underdone as well. And he took the pressure off himself as well yesterday by saying Daly Cherry Evans is the man most under pressure. Obviously, Cherry Evans comes in and tries to fill that role that Cooper Cronk's left behind through injury.
Now, OK, we'll talk about the two different teams and their attacking options. New South Wales just didn't quite have that knockout punch in Game 1. Do they have one here?
They've got a guy called Josh Dugan who, if he gets a lot of time and space, he can create a lot of opportunity. Where the Blues will have to win the game is through the forwards. They're not going to score a lot of points. They're not going to score 20 or 30 points. They're quite happy to score 10 points and hope Queensland scores 6. So as long as they can contain Queensland, the Blues will give themselves a chance.
And as far as Queensland goes, no Cronk. What does that do to their attacking options and how the playmakers gel?
Yeah, it's huge. We saw that last year when Cronk went off early in Game 1. He didn't play Game 2. They lost both those games. It comes back Game 3 and they put 20, 30 points on and really beat the Blues. So as Gallen said yesterday, there's a lot of pressure on Daly Cherry Evans. He's the new $10 million man in the NRL, so he's got to restamp his class on the Origin arena, but Cronk's absence is going to be huge.
And the MCG itself, much talked about the big crowd. It's going to be a sort of a funny sensation when people go in there, 90,000 people, and you're a long way from the pitch. How are you feeling about watching rugby league in the MCG?
I'm excited. I'm excited like the players. You don't get to do it. I've obviously never seen a game of rugby league at the G. I've been to other sporting events there, but it's an event. Once the players get on and the field's the same width, it's the same length, it's not going to make too much of a difference. The only strangeness for the players will be the kicking game because of the way the field's laid out. It's obviously oval, so the kickers are used to a rectangular sort of space, so they have to get their bearings, and the Blues spent a lot of time there yesterday doing that. Yeah. So we'll see what happens.
Who's your tip?
I'm going to go New South Wales by 4 today.
All right, that's good. It keeps it alive for Game 3 then, hey?
That's what we want.
All right. Thanks, Michael. Really appreciate it, as usual. And just hope that, unlike back in 1994 where they let the fireworks off and the smoke hung around for about 60 minutes of that contest, they might get it right this time at the MCG.